We all know Mark Ruffalo as the fearless, big and heroic Hulk, but real life was really hard on him from the very beginning. If he could come back and smash through all the tragedies that was thrown at him, so can you. This is one of my favorite inspirational and motivational success stories. And I strongly recommend you to listen till the end. This is how Mark Ruffalo overcame the tragedies in his life and became the real-life Hulk. Mark Ruffalo had a rough time growing up. I was miserable. I was undiagnosed with dyslexia, ADHD, and depression in my youth. One of the things that was always very difficult for me was grade school, feeling like I was strange and unique and freakish. I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. He really struggled with his depression throughout his life. It's dysthymia. It's a long-running, low-grade depression all the time. I've been struggling with that my whole life. It's like a low-grade depression that just is running all the time in the background. He has an advice for the people struggling with the same problems. I would say to my older self now and to my younger self then that there is help and there are ways to deal with it and to manage it and to overcome it. After his family went bankrupt, he moved to a small apartment in LA. He began taking acting lessons and co-founded the Orpheus Theater Company. He wrote, directed and starred in a number of plays. But before finding success, he also had to work as a bartender for a decade. In 1994, Mark's best friend committed suicide. When he died, it rocked me out of a dark depression. The moment he left, I realized that death wasn't an escape, that suicide wasn't an answer, and he began valuing his life more and took acting as a way to deal with the pain and move forward. As his career started taking off, Mark Ruffalo was faced with the biggest tragedy in his life. I woke up one morning with the knowledge that I had a brain tumor. It wasn't so much that I dreamt I had a brain tumor. It was like someone just poured the knowledge into my head. It wasn't like an image. It was just like knowing. It was so weird, which is why I paid attention. After some tests were done, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor. The tumor was behind his ear in the size of a golf ball. He had to undergo a surgery that had devastating predictions. The doctors explained him that you have 80% chance of losing your hearing and 20% chance of losing your facial nerve. He decided to keep this information to himself because his wife was about to have their child. So he told his family a few weeks after his child was born. I was certain I was going to die. He underwent the surgery to remove the tumor, but the real battle began after that. For 10 long months, Mark Ruffalo had paralyzed facial nerves. He was unable to move the left side of his face and shut his left eye. He also had difficulties maintaining his balance. He asked God, "Please do not take my face, and please do not take my life." His mantra during his recovery was, "Keep moving." And he did. He never gave up. He was constantly and religiously trying to move his face every day, even though he couldn't at first. And he walked for miles, trying to regain his balance as well. He went through so much during this period of his life, and he didn't know if he would ever get better. But his constant pushing forward and not giving up made his recovery more quickly, and slowly but surely, he recovered from the paralysis. But unfortunately, he became deaf in his left ear as a result of the tumor. But that didn't stop him to go back to the acting world and start over. But life hit him one more time. In 2008, his brother was murdered at his home. He died by a gunshot wound to the head. And to this day, when he talks about the pain of losing his brother, he says that his brother's murder affects him every day. You never get over it. You just get used to it. but take these tragic things and turn them into something meaningful and worthy of the loss. Make it count. And Mark Ruffalo did that by choosing to play movie roles that can revive his brother's spirit and personality. Mark Ruffalo spent his younger years appearing in 800 failed auditions before finding the success he wanted. His perseverance paid off. He gained international success by playing the Marvel comic character the Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He began with the Avengers in 2012, and we will see him in the Avengers Endgame. He won so many awards in his career and finally touched the sky. We hope that he will never, ever hit rock bottom again. There is one more thing you should know about Mark Ruffalo. Meditation saved him from his battle with anxiety. I was sort of feeling anxious all the time. I was starting to get really desperate, and so I had a friend who had been a long-time drug addict. He did the program, and we hooked up again after a couple years. This was around the time when I was thinking, I gotta find something because this is getting unbearable. My brain won't shut off even when I try to sleep. He had been the angriest man in the world, and now he had such a calm demeanor. I had never seen a human being change that much. And he's like, I've been meditating. Anyway, that led me to this meditation teacher, and God, it's been like 7 years. It's pretty much a daily practice that quiets your brain, and oddly enough, actually slows down time. So you're not so much trapped in your immediate reaction to things. And everything changed. My work started to change. My luck started to change. The way the world looked to me changed. Like, with all these crazy things going on in the world, I actually have an enormous amount of hope. I think the success story of Mark Ruffalo is one of the biggest inspirations that exists. Many people would have given up after the first obstacle or tragedy in their life, but not Mark Ruffalo. All those tragedies he had to overcome made him appreciate life on a deeper level and made him fight for what he really wanted to do. When life hit him hard and smashed him on the ground, he slowly but surely stood up and fought back. Even through so much tragedies in his life, he found strength, optimism, and hope to chase his dream and never give up. I want you to close your eyes and think about your life for a second. What's your dream? What stops you from chasing it? What scares you so much? It's easy to do nothing, but your heart breaks a little more every time you do. So, what's your story?